Hey friends, how's it going? Ash here, welcome back to Gents. Hope that you're doing well. Today we're gonna be talking about 10 extremely high quality fragrance clones, each one from the same house. These ones smell fantastic from the opening into the mid into the dry down. None of that harshness, chemically mess, none of that stuff. If you go back about a decade ago and then the few years after that, most clone fragrances were pretty rough around the edges. Yes, they were cheaper versions of much more expensive fragrances, but guess what? They smelled like much cheaper versions of more expensive fragrances. I bought a ton of clones around that time period, and it was exciting because it was like a whole new thing, and every time a new clone would come out, it'd be like, oh my God, a new one. But a lot of them were really rough around the edges. Chemically synthetic, like I said, they smelled way cheaper than what they were emulating. So they would get you kind of close, but you always knew, oh, I'm wearing a clone, it smells like it. Now, as time has progressed, clone fragrances have gotten better and better and better to the point that they're really closing the gap on the real deal, for better or for worse. I know some people that is very frustrating that you can get a clone fragrance at a much lower price that smells quite similar to another fragrance that maybe somebody paid a lot more for. And then of course there's the whole issue with clone fragrances, you know, taking another person's work and reinterpreting it. But we're not gonna dive into that today. We're staying on the topic of these clone fragrances here, which I feel like are some of the absolute best quality clones on the market right now. So I have all these linked in the description below, and here is a bunch of codes that you can use to save money at a bunch of different websites. Unfortunately, I got no codes or anything for the fragrances that we're gonna talk about here today, but they're still worth it even at whatever retail price is, $60 for most of these. But I have a sneaking suspicion that as the word about how good these are gets out there and they release more fragrances, I gotta feel like they're gonna be popping up just like everywhere. So the reason I'm doing today's video is I've gotten a lot of emails from you guys because I've featured some of these fragrances in lists in the past. And you've been like, can you review that one, review that one, review that one? And I thought about doing like 5 separate videos and reviewing them and stuff, but I think I'm gonna put them in here. Just pile them up, baby. So let's jump into it. Let's get this started. The brand is Rabiat Prestige. First one we're gonna talk about is Hypnotic Oud. Now again, the quality on these I think is fantastic. From the opening, into the mid, into the dry down, these smell really good, very well done. You can spray these on right away and go straight in and it smells great. And in case you didn't notice that, pressurized atomizers, let's go. The only thing that could really ramp this up is a magnetic cap. Bottle feels good and heavy in the hand. Hypnotic Oud is a clone of Maison Martin Margiela's By the Fireplace. It has that warmth, it has that little gourmandy sort of sweetness around the edges. It has that smokiness that's not overwhelming. It does everything that By the Fireplace does extremely well. This one has good performance for me, lasts for a long time. The projection is good as well, but not overwhelming. So this is more the type of fragrance that's gonna create a nice scent cloud around you, but not necessarily reach out and touch somebody if they're really far away. You know, it's not like a beast mode projector, but it does the job very well. Again, as I talked about at the beginning of the video, very high quality, and frankly, all of these are, so that's the last time I'll say that. And take a look at the presentation here. So obviously you can see the bottle with kind of this golden design and then the little like faux gemstone set in there. But look at this box, man. It's a massive box. So you've got all the info there on the front, 100 ml eau de parfum concentration. I'm not gonna show the presentation or the full presentation for each one of these, but they do have a few different box styles, so I was gonna show those. Got the name of the house up top, on the bottom, all your information opens up like so. And then your bottle actually sits down inside of here. So this has kind of a velvety feel to it. It's plastic, it's a plastic insert. Velvety feel here up top as well that has the name of the house. Just a massive honking box on this one. But again, in general, it shows that I think what they're going for with this brand, with this house, is a higher quality just across the board in terms of the presentation with the pressurized atomizer and everything, the big honking box, and then the quality of the fragrance itself. And honestly, when you think about it, full retail for all of these, I believe, is 60 bucks. At the end of the day, when you factor everything in, that price is, in my opinion, not really that bad. So it's 600 for all 10 here. That makes it sound worse, 600. Let's keep it 60. 60 each, that sounds way better. And then the other Hypnotic fragrance is Hypnotic Amber. Same look here, except this one has a different coloration. Instead of this black color, it's this reddish color. Little faux gemstone on the front there is different as well. Box looks the same, just a different color scheme. Now this one is a twist of Aventus, Creed Aventus. Now, I will say between these two, that this one is closer to the fragrance that it's cloning. So this one over here by the fireplace smells much more like By the Fireplace. This one, it smells similar to Aventus, but it's definitely Aventus with a twist. So it has that really nice fruity freshness off the top, that kind of pineapple citrus combination, but it has more of a green feel to it. So green, very fresh, lively Aventus is kind of how I interpret this one. Not as smoky, you don't really have that birch coming through. Instead, you have more of kind of a sweetness underneath, which would make sense because it's Hypnotic Amber, not Hypnotic Birch. So I think of that one as more of a twist on Aventus that has more of a like green, fresh, fruity lean to it, and then kind of an ambery warmth underneath, and most of that smoke kind of stripped away. Still smells really good, extremely versatile as you would expect, compliment pulling type of scent, and gives you a different take on Aventus basically. Then we have Ari's Intense right here. This one I have filmed a full review on, just on this fragrance itself. And after I did that one was when I was like, well, maybe I should review some of these others. And I was like, well, let's put them all into one. And then maybe if people really want a review of like one separate one, I'll do that down the road. So here is the box style for this one. There's also Ari's, which we'll take a look at in 1 second. Pulled out the Intense version first. So you have this slip cover here, little design right there on the front, magnetically sealed front of the box opens up, and then the bottle sits down inside there. Got your information on the bottom, all that good stuff. This one is 100 ml eau de parfum as well, same as those. Bottle style on these look really nice, obviously very different from these over here. And the cap clicks into place, and these are once again pressurized atomizers. Let me grab a tester strip, got it. So there we go. Oh, I just sprayed my cap. Now my finger smells good. So this one is a clone of by Kilian's Angel Share. And I think this is one of the best Angel Share clones on the market. Top 3 Angel Share clone on the market today, in my opinion, pretty easily. It's got nice performance. It does have that sweetness that you expect from Angel Share. The praline is maybe a little bit dialed down in here when you wear it side by side with Angel Share, but then it has more of that kind of warm, sweet spiciness. Like cinnamon comes through here more than it does in Angel Share. Also very slightly fresher than Angel Share off the top, but it's another one that is just expertly done. As soon as you spray it on, smells amazing in the air. It's fantastic. I know that there are a lot of Angel Share clones out there at this point. So, I mean, kind of same with the Aventus, right? But both of these are not directly the same as the fragrance that they are cloning. They're taking that idea, putting a twist on it and doing something a little bit different. So for a lot of people that could end up working better. For others that are looking for just a straight up one-to-one, maybe it wouldn't work as well. But for me, I think again, top 3 Angel Share clone right now. Just really, really, really good quality. Then the other one is this one, Ari's. So, you know, same other than a different color scheme, same thing with the box. So this one is a tiger type of clone, Bulgari's Tiger, but it is also another one that is sort of a twist. You know, it's not an exact one-to-one. This one smells like tiger mixed with Suspiro Vibrato. And Vibrato, a lot of people compare to the smell of tiger. So, you know, kind of works there, kind of works hand in hand. Amazing smelling opening, just super fresh. That citrus in there comes across very, very clearly. Has almost a creamy kind of sweetness to it underneath. It has a nice green aspect as well, which is kind of where that Suspiro comes in, mixing with the Tiger. And I know it's in a pinkish, peachish kind of color, the bottle. And so you may see that and anticipate that it's gonna be too feminine maybe, but if you can wear a Bulgari Tiger or Suspiro Vibrato, then you can easily wear that. And once again, like this one, I feel like this is one of the absolute best tiger alternatives on the market. Again, with a bit of a twist. All right, on to another line as part of this brand. It is Niel Queen. This is the fragrance that I have talked about the most from this house. It's also the one that I think more people have kind of scooped up because this is a clone of YSL's Baby Cat, and it is a darn good one. And here is the box for this one. A little bit more understated compared to the last two that we've taken a look at, but still really well done. So you have on the front there, the name of the fragrance, house, size, concentration. This is a 70 mil. So these are all 100. This one is 70. That goes for the other Niel fragrances as well. On the back, you've got a lot of information. There's the bottom with your badge code, barcode, all that good stuff. And it opens up like that. So the front just kind of pulls away and the bottle sits inside like that. Interesting presentation on these. So it has that kind of angular rectangular bottle style that maybe you've seen on other cologne fragrances. Feels again very good and heavy in the hand. You have like a, what is that? Like a tiger coming out of the front there. I never paid a lot of attention to whether it was a tiger or a lion or whatever, but right there on the front, and your sticker badge code on the bottom. Cap slides into place. And on these Niel fragrances, just regular atomizer. These guys over here get the pressurized one. Now, like I said, this is a clone of Baby Cat. It is awesome. I can tell you when I got this fragrance in back, I feel like it was a few months ago at this point. It was a little bit cold when they were delivered, and you know, you're not supposed to always just grab stuff out of the mail when it's really cold or hot and just spray the fragrance on, but that's what I did. The bottle was frigid at the time. We're having like a cold snap. And when I sprayed it on, I felt like, oh, it's just not super strong. It smells really good, but I wasn't picking it up all that much. And I don't know if it was the bottle, if it was me, what was going on that day, but I felt a little bit bummed. I was like, man, I was hoping that was gonna be like, you know, really, really good stuff. So I went back the next day, sprayed it on again. And this time it was like a revelation. I was like, what happened yesterday? Like yesterday, it felt like 30 minutes and the stuff was just, but then the next day, it was awesome. Projected really well, lasts a long time, has that warmth and sweetness that you would expect from Baby Cat. Kind of a funny name when you say it, you know. But yeah, this is it. If you want a Baby Cat clone, a high quality one, get this stuff right here. So we got Niel Queen. What about Niel King? Well, this one is a little bit interesting. So Niel Queen is Baby Cat. Guys can wear that, girls can wear that, no problem. Most people would say, yeah, completely unisex. Some people might even say it leans slightly masculine even. Niel King, which you would expect to be a very masculine fragrance. It is YSL's Supreme Bouquet. One of those deals where you're like, well, wait, what? Supreme Bouquet out of everything? All right. But yeah, that's what this is. So it's another Yves Saint Laurent. This is Yves Saint Laurent, that's Yves Saint Laurent. It is, in my opinion, quite feminine leaning. Very floral, as you would expect from a fragrance that is cloning a fragrance called Supreme Bouquet. It's not called Supreme Forest. Supreme Leather, what was that? That was Ralph Lauren. Now again, it smells great as soon as you spray it on. There's nothing off-putting, it works immediately, but you've got a lot of tuberose in there, and it's prevalent right off the rip. You've also got a ling-a-ling in here. As it dries down, it does warm up a bit, get some sweetness, and maybe doesn't lean as feminine as it dries down, but still an interesting choice for a fragrance named Niel King. If you do want a clone of Supreme Bouquet though, that is a very, very good one. It's just for the majority of guys out there, that's gonna be too feminine for them to want to wear. And then last, we have Niel Oud. This is another Yves Saint Laurent alternative. This one is a clone of Tuxedo. Now, Tuxedo is another fragrance that has been cloned many times, an extremely popular scent profile, and this one is yet again very well done. Not as forward with the spice as some of the other Tuxedo alternatives. This one is going to be more dark, warm, sweet, even almost balsamic to an extent when you first spray it on. And then as it dries down, those spices kind of come up. They're soft, but at the same time, very noticeable. So by that I mean, you can pick them up, blended well, but it's like this kind of enveloping cloud instead of a sledgehammer. So once again, this one, YSL Tuxedo, I would say for most people, Niel Queen, or most guys, Niel Queen, Niel Oud, those are the ones that you really want to pay attention to. I know it's kind of like, you know, Niel Queen, what? But it's good. All right, last three. This one is called Ishtar Roses Vanilla. This one and the next two, they're all in this bottle style, and they are all clones of Mancera fragrances. Now, Mancera typically is not that expensive from discounters, so you do have to factor that in, but all three of these are just insanely good. Let me show you really quickly the presentation and we'll hop through these last ones. So this is the box style for this bottle style. You got the name of the house, name of the fragrance, size, concentration, all that on the front. These are a little bit bigger. These are 110 mils compared to 70 and then 100 for these. Got all the information on the back. Opens up like so, maybe. There we go. Then you have this nice feeling, almost like microfiber that sits over top the bottle, which is down in here. So it'll be covered up by this microfiber type cloth. Again, it's just really nice, very well done. Bottle looks good. Name of the house, name of the fragrance, all there right on the front. You got the cap that has almost a crystal look, but it's a mirror. So a mirror on both sides and then a sticker on the bottom. Again, nice and heavy. Pressurized atomizer. These Niels, man, they're feeling sad. They're the only ones without that pressurized atomizer. So Roses Vanilla, this is a clone of Roses Vanille, again, from Mancera. Really nice balance of a semi-powdery rose, but then freshness and then all that sweetness underneath. Makes it good for spring, fall, winter. I would wear something different in summer. Only issue with this one as pertains to guys is that it does lean a bit feminine. And so for some people, they're gonna smell that and smell the roses and be like, I'm not gonna go for it. But the quality again is very high. And I think it is wearable as long as you're okay with wearing a rose forward fragrance. Then we have Amber Vanilla. Look at the color scheme on this. Kind of obvious what that is, right? This one is Instant Crush. Love the metallic paint job on this bottle. I brought this up before because I featured this in one other list. Don't remember which it was, but that paint scheme, it looks like a car's paint scheme where you have like the little gold flake in there, or metallic flake, not gold flake. Why would you put that? Metallic glitter. Now, Instant Crush, obviously one of the most popular Mancera fragrances out there, and for good reason. Really versatile, big compliment puller. Some similarities to Baccarat Rouge 540 as well. And you get all of that captured here. This is another one where it's quite close to the fragrance that it is cloning. I have, I think, one other fragrance that's a direct clone of Instant Crush, and this one is so much better. It's not even close. Now, I know there are other alternatives out there to that fragrance, but for me, I think this is the best one on the market right now. And then the last one is Citrus Oud, and this one is a clone of Citra Boisé. So, you know, hitting all those big fragrances from Mancera, basically. This one is excellent. The citrus off the top, so nice, so pleasant, has a nice heft to it. You know, it's got good projection, longevity, all that. And I know it's called Citrus Oud, but don't worry about that. There's no, you know, off-putting animalic note to it, no real dark note to it either. It has that similar kind of woody, slightly leathery undertone to it that Citra Boisé has, but then really has that focus just on the strong, sweet, fresh, fruity open. Just awesome stuff, man. Just really, really good, all of these. To say that this lineup as sort of an opening salvo, if you want to call it, is impressive is an understatement. I mean, these are all like kind of in their infancy to me because there's just the 10, at least that I've been able to find. I don't know, maybe there's like more out there that I'm unaware of. Maybe I find those, scoop those up. But if this is like the jumping off point, I want to see what comes next. That's all I'm saying. So there we go. Rabiat Prestige. These are the 10 that I have, all 4 lines, 3322. What comes next? No idea. But if it's anything like this, if we're talking this kind of quality, then you want to keep your eyes open for whatever it is that they pop out next. And everybody else better take notice and keep that quality coming up, you know? So there we go. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys later.